Hello guys, hello everyone. You are always welcome to my channel. If it's your first time to watch my channel, please subscribe to the bottom below. And if you're interested, add your comment and please continue watching. Our talk today is about the Ethiopian Renaissance Dam project. Building the Ethiopian Renaissance Dam project started on the 12th of April 2011. After the 25th of January revolution in Egypt, about 40 days after the revolution. But how was it first designed and what happened later? The Ethiopian Renaissance Dam project was designed to be about 85 meters high, and that was a bit high, not very high. The high dam in Egypt is about 111 meters high, but it was designed to be about 85 meters high. But that changed after that, because now the Ethiopian Renaissance Dam project is about 145 meters high. I mean, it's about the double height. The lake behind the dam was designed first to contain about 15 billion cubic meters when the dam was designed to be 85 meters high. But now the lake behind the dam is designed to contain about 70 billion cubic meters of water, and that's too much. Irrigation in Egypt depends on flooding. I mean, the water flooding a piece of land or a plot of land. And that policy of irrigation or farming costs Egypt a lot of water, because Egypt needs a lot of water to grow many crops such as rice and sugarcane. These two crops especially cost Egypt a lot of money. The state here is trying to determine or to limit the crops or the quantities of these crops here in Egypt, because they are costing a lot of water. But the question is, how does building this dam affect Egypt? I believe that building this dam affects Egypt greatly, because Egypt's quota of water depends greatly on Ethiopia. I mean, about 85% of Egypt's quota of water comes from Ethiopia, and about 15% of Egypt's quota of water comes from Lake Victoria, passing about 8 countries. So the most important is the Ethiopian lake or the Ethiopian source, because about 85% of Egypt's quota comes from there. But here in Egypt, irrigation depends on flooding. Flooding means that a lot of water covers a plot of land. So many crops here depend on flooding, like rice and sugarcane, and these two crops cost a lot of water and need a lot of water to be grown. So Egypt is trying recently to change its policy towards growing these crops. In the last year, Egypt limited growing rice by 30%, and in the next few years, this number will be limited by 50%. So growing these two crops in Egypt will be changed in the few years, in the next few years. So building this dam affects Egypt greatly. Actually, it was decided for the dam to take about 8 years to be built, and now it's a time for the dam to open or to start working, but it doesn't work now. And the question is why? Why doesn't the dam work now? There has been a big problem with the gates of the dam. The gates of the dam are the cause of the problem that led the dam to stop working or to not to work right now. The gates, there are some faults in the gates or some defaults. The gates were designed under the authorities of the Ethiopian army, and these gates have some problems with them. Some other problems are inside the building of the dam itself, but I don't exactly know what is the problem according to the building of the dam or the concrete of the dam, but I do believe that the gates of the dam, according to media, say that the gates of the dam have some big problems, and they will try to make new gates, and this will take about 4 years. So we expect that opening the dam, the Ethiopian dam, will start or will open in 2022. This will give Egypt a big chance to negotiate and to be in a better situation in these negotiations with Ethiopia. Egypt now has enough time to plan for its future, for its water future. Its ministries, Ministry of Irrigation and Ministry of Water, water sources need to have a good policy, have to stable ground to stand on, because the future of Egypt depends greatly on water. Egypt's quota of water is about 55.5 billion cubic meters, and the population is about 104 million people. I mean, when Egypt was about 18 million people, the same quota of Egypt was 55 billion cubic meters, and now Egypt's population is about 1.4 million people, and the same quota is. So there is a big problem for water sources in Egypt.